A lot of people may be confused about white nationalism and their attraction to Russia, and in particularly to Russian nationalism, which can be expressed in the ideology of Eurasianism. Eurasianism. And one of the big proponents of Eurasianism is Alexander Dugin in Russia. And the idea here in this ideology is that Eurasia, the Eurasian heartland, whoever controls the Eurasian heartland will be the major player globally because of the vast expanse of Eurasia and its connection, the way it connects the different parts of Europe and Asia. And this is a very old ideology. And in the Russian view of things, Russia could be the dominant power when it comes to commanding the way things go in Eurasia. Now, when you think of white nationalists, though, of course they come from a different perspective. But one thing that they have in common is that Russia under Putin is really the leader when it comes to this type of ethno-nationalism, especially this authoritarian ethno-nationalism, in which Putin and his party basically have taken control of the democratic system. You can't even call it a democratic system anymore in Russia, and have basically made it into an ethno-nationalist state. And ethno-nationalists throughout the globe, particularly in America and Europe, they just like that idea. Now, they're not necessarily into Russian ethno-nationalism. Like, for example, in the Netherlands, the right-wing party and movements would be for, the Netherlands for the Dutch, make the Netherlands great again. But they all agree basically on this idea of protecting, the real Russians, and protecting against outsiders. So they have an agreement on that xenophobia and the idea of creating a state with very tightly controlled borders and without ideologies like multiculturalism, having a dominant culture. Now, so that's I think the main reasons that you have this this movement toward Putin and Russia, because he's by far the greatest power of any country in terms of promoting and supporting ethno-nationalism. Now, besides that, even the white nationalists here in the States, they have another issue in terms of when you think of race theory. One of the theories is that the Indo-European languages originated in the area of Russia, the Pontic steppe, and so that's one thing that might also attract people toward Russian ethno-nationalism. This idea of the European races all coming from that area. And in addition, there's a sort of the racism that would exist in Eurasianism is different than the Nazi-type ideology of the pure white race. In Eurasianism, they basically admit to intermixing between Europeans and Asians, and there's even some tendency to encourage that, even among the alt-right. There's a lot of them are anime fans, so there's this connection between at least a portion of white nationalists and Russian Eurasianism that shares a lot of common ideas.